Most people avoid the question. They distract themselves with routine, with noise, with entertainment. They tell themselves they're just getting older. But deep inside, when the night is silent and the mind has no more excuses, a question begins to whisper. How much longer will I be here? Shi Heng Yi says, it is not morbid to contemplate death. It is foolish to ignore it. After the age of 70, your body, your mind, and your spirit begin to reveal what lies ahead. They do not speak in dramatic events. They speak in signs. Small, precise, silent signs. The way you rise from a chair. The way you respond to silence. The way your heart processes the past. These are not coincidences, they are messages. Your longevity is not written in fate. It is written in your habits. Shi Heng Yi teaches, the present moment always contains the seed of your future. There are those who at 70 carry the lightness of a soul still in motion. And there are others who, though still breathing, have already begun to fade. The difference is not found in years, but in vitality, that invisible energy that flows when the body, mind, and heart remain alive, aware, and unburdened. This is not about avoiding death. Death comes to all. But there is a difference between reaching the end with fire still burning and arriving as a shadow of what once was. These 7 signs, the ones you're about to discover, are not medical metrics or statistical probabilities. They are reflections. They show you, with clarity, what direction your energy is taking. Some will listen and recognize themselves. They will feel affirmed. They are still strong, still here, still burning. Others will listen and feel exposed, realizing that small habits of neglect have become long shadows over their future. But either way, the message is not condemnation. It is invitation. Because the most powerful truth is this: you can still change your direction. Shi Heng Yi reminds us, the wind cannot be stopped, but the sail can be adjusted. You may have ignored your body, but today you can begin to listen. You may have filled your mind with clutter, but today you can begin to clear it. You may have hardened your heart, but today you can begin to soften it. From this moment, you become your own oracle. You don't need fortune tellers or predictions. You only need the honesty to observe, really observe, the signs already living within you. They will tell you if you're moving toward health or decay, peace or resistance, growth or collapse. And the most profound aspect of this wisdom is that these signs are not only predictive, they are reversible. Shi Heng Yi says, a signal is not a sentence. It is a chance to change. In the path of Shaolin, the monks train not only for the body's strength, but for its listening, the awareness of tension, fatigue, flow, imbalance. In the West, many discover the signs when it's too late. In the East, the masters learn to feel the subtlest signal before it becomes a storm. This video is not about fear. It is about awakening. If you're over 70 or approaching that sacred threshold, this is your call to observe. And if you're younger, then this is your warning. The habits you tolerate today will become the signs that predict your future. Because death doesn't always arrive with drama. Sometimes, it comes quietly, years in advance, through disconnection, stagnation, forgetfulness, and bitterness. But the path can still change. And it begins now. As we step into the first signs, the language of your body, mind, and spirit, listen carefully. Not just with your ears, but with your being. Because your future is not somewhere ahead, it is already unfolding within you. The body never lies. Long before your voice speaks, long before your thoughts are expressed, your body reveals everything. Your discipline, your care, your neglect, your energy, your destiny. And after the age of 70, the body becomes even more honest. Not because it wants to punish you, but because it no longer has the strength to hide the truth. Shi Heng Yi says, the body is the mirror. Discipline is the sculptor. If you want to know how long you might live, don't ask your calendar. Ask your legs. Ask your breath. Ask your balance. Let us begin with the first sign. 1. The strength to rise without assistance. It seems simple, standing up from a chair without pushing off your knees or grabbing the armrest. But this single action reveals the condition of your lower body, your spine, and your nervous system. In Shaolin practice, this is called the ground response. It shows whether your body still channels strength upward or has begun to surrender to the pull of the earth. If you struggle to rise without help, it is not just fatigue. It is a signal your structural strength is leaving you. But here's the deeper truth: it can be rebuilt. Shi Heng Yi teaches, the same way the sun rises each day, the body can rise again with steady care. Now observe the second sign. 2. Your walking speed and stability. When you walk, do your steps feel grounded or unsure? Do your feet strike the ground with purpose or hesitation? The way you walk, your pace, your stride, your posture, reveals how confidently your nervous system and musculoskeletal systems still cooperate. In medical studies, walking speed is directly correlated to longevity. In Shaolin philosophy, it is not just about speed, it is about intentional movement. A strong stride reflects vitality. A hesitant gait reveals fear, imbalance, or energy loss. To correct this, the rare masters walk mindfully, not fast but rooted. A soft awareness in each step becomes a spiritual practice. Shi Heng Yi reminds us, when the feet forget the ground, the soul forgets the body. The third sign hides in your breath. 3. The depth and calmness of your breathing. Shallow breath is silent suffering. When the breath becomes fast, high in the chest, and disconnected from the diaphragm, it signals more than just stress. It shows the weakening of your internal energy system, your qi. A long life is not guaranteed by years, but by how much life is in each breath. Observe. When you are seated, can you breathe slowly, deeply, without effort? Does your breath reach your abdomen? Or does it remain trapped near the collarbone? Shaolin monks spend decades training breath not for performance, but for presence. A deep breath means a calm nervous system, a strong heart, and a clear mind. Shi Heng Yi teaches, the master does not chase breath. He follows it into stillness. Now, the fourth sign, often ignored, but deeply revealing. 4. Your body's recovery after movement. It's not just how far you walk. It's how quickly you recover. After climbing stairs, how fast does your breath return to normal? After physical activity, do your muscles remain sore for days? Do you feel drained or revived? Recovery is the language of the body's resilience. A slow recovery means the systems inside are overloaded. The heart, the lungs, the blood, all struggling to keep up. Shi Heng Yi reminds, true strength is not how much you can do, but how fast you return to peace. And finally, the fifth sign of the body, often overlooked because it hides in stillness. 5. Your posture in silence. When you sit in a chair or stand still, how does your spine rest? Does your head drift forward? Do your shoulders collapse inward? This posture tells a silent story of the habits you've repeated and the strength you've either maintained or lost. A collapsed posture compresses the lungs, weakens the digestion, and sends signals of fatigue to the brain. An upright posture, even in old age, communicates vitality to every organ. Shaolin monks train posture not for appearance, but for alignment of energy. The spine is the axis of life. If it stands tall, so does the spirit. Shi Heng Yi says, when the spine rises, the mind rises. When the spine collapses, the will follows. These 5 signs, rising strength, walking stride, breathing depth, recovery speed, and posture in stillness, are not just metrics. They are messengers. They reveal the truth without judgment. And they offer you the most sacred power of all, the chance to begin again. Because the body, even in its aging form, will always respond to love, to movement, to care, and to discipline. And when you choose to listen to its messages with reverence, it begins to shift, slowly but surely, back toward life. Shi Heng Yi reminds us, the body is not your enemy. It is your first temple. Care for it and it will extend your stay. Now that we have listened to the voice of the body, it is time to enter the second realm, where the most subtle signs begin to emerge, the realm of the mind. The mind is a river. In youth, it flows with force, jumping over obstacles, adapting to every bend, eager to explore. But with time, for many, that river begins to dry. It slows. It clings to the past. It grows muddy and unclear. And when that happens, even if the body still walks, The mind begins to vanish long before the breath does. Shi Heng Yi dice. When the mind fades, the body is simply waiting. After the age of 70, the mind reveals some of its deepest truths. You can no longer hide behind speed or distraction. The memory either sharpens or slips. The focus either deepens or fractures. The thoughts either serve you or begin to betray you. If you wish to know how much life remains, look at how your mind responds to the present moment. First sign, the ability to stay focused. Can you sit in silence and follow a thought from beginning to end without interruption? Can you read a full paragraph and still remember what it said? Can you listen to someone speak and stay fully with them without drifting? If your attention fragments constantly, if you are pulled away by every sound, every impulse, every memory, it is not simply distraction. It is a warning that the mind is becoming reactive, not reflective. Shi Heng Yi dice. Focus is not effort. It is the absence of interruption. The Shaolin monks do not train the mind to perform tricks. They train it to return, again and again, to the present, like the breath returning to the lungs. They do not chase thoughts. They observe them. And in doing so, they preserve their sharpness. Second sign, memory that is not just storage, but wisdom. Many fear forgetting names or dates, but memory is more than facts. It is the structure of meaning. The rare gem remembers not just information, they remember why it matters. They connect moments, symbols, feelings. Their memory is alive, not mechanical. If your memory is fading, ask yourself, are you still learning? Are you still reflecting? Or have you stopped feeding your mind new perspectives? Shi Heng Yi dice. A fading memory is not just forgetting the past, it is refusing to refresh the present. Memory is like a muscle. It must be used through reading, dialogue, contemplation, not to show intelligence, but to keep the mental current alive. The moment you stop seeking understanding, the mind begins to retreat into shadows. Third sign, mental flexibility. The elders who live the longest are not those who know the most. They are those who can adapt, who can change their opinion when truth appears, who can shift direction when necessary, who can release old beliefs when they no longer serve. Rigidity in thought is the first step toward mental collapse. If every conversation becomes an argument, if every disagreement becomes a threat, if every new idea feels like an attack, then the mind is no longer a river. It has become a frozen lake. Shi Heng Yi. To live long, keep the mind like bamboo, rooted, but able to bend. The rare masters can entertain ideas without defending them. They listen without needing to control. Their thoughts are not locked in rooms, but flow like the air, open, clear, unrestricted. Fourth sign, emotional regulation. Yes, this too is mental. How quickly do you become irritated? How long do you remain anxious after something goes wrong? How often do you spiral into negative thoughts? The emotionally undisciplined mind wears down the body. Cortisol rises. Sleep is broken. The immune system weakens. The anger you hold today shortens the days you will live tomorrow. The master is not cold. He simply chooses peace over performance. He sees emotion, acknowledges it, but does not live inside it. Shi Heng Yi recuerda. Emotions are clouds. Let them pass. Do not build your home inside them. And now, the final sign of the mind's longevity. Fifth sign, your relationship with silence. Can you be alone with your thoughts without reaching for a distraction? Can you walk without headphones? Sit without a screen? Breathe without noise? If silence makes you restless, it means the mind has forgotten how to rest inside itself. But if silence feels like nourishment, a place to recharge, your mind is still alive, still powerful, still listening. Shi Heng Yi. Silence is not empty. It is full of presence. The mind, like the body, sends signals, not to punish you, but to wake you. A confused, rigid, restless mind shortens life. But a calm, focused, flexible mind extends it, not only in years, but in depth. And now, as we descend from the mountain of the mind, we reach the sacred valley of the heart, where the deepest signs of life and death dwell in silence. Your emotional life, your relationships, your capacity to forgive and to love. You can take care of your body. You can sharpen your mind. But if your heart is heavy, burdened by resentment, guilt, or sorrow, the weight becomes too much to carry. Even the strongest spine will bend. Even the clearest mind will grow dim. Shi Heng Yi dice. A heart that refuses to release will shorten the breath, weaken the legs, and extinguish the spirit. After 70, many believe the work is done, that what is unresolved must stay unresolved. But the truth is the opposite. At that stage of life, the heart begins to speak loudest. And its language is subtle, but exact. If you wish to know how much longer you'll live, ask your heart one question. Are you at peace? Egos still trigger bitterness? Do you replay situations wishing they had ended differently?